So here's the ride in. There's the main intersection, right where G76 is, which is car-wise less than a minute from the beach. So we're cruising along, and I'm going to take you all the way in and do the best I can not to bore you to death along the way with the audio track. They actually graded the road, so they're not doing so bad right now. And also, I guess you already know they were going to pave the main road. It looks like that's going to happen later on this year. So that should be a nice boost. So hopefully the other video came through clear and you were able to see the view and the property itself and walking each corner of it along the way. I didn't put in the audio at that point in time because I was trying to get something to you really early, and I felt really bad about not being able to get it uploaded last night. I apologize for that. Over to the left is La Aqua Viva, that very high-end resort with the 4 infinity pools and all the fancy fish tanks and all that sort of stuff. And as far as the location of this property, we're driving just as if we were going back to that L lot, which you know exactly where that is. The only difference is we're going to end up taking a left instead of a right. We're going to head closer to the beach instead of further away from the beach. Surrounding the property, there is a very short walk to the Lagarto Lodge, which has an incredible view overlooking the river, the ocean, and the valley. There's also a couple little hotels not too far away from there. But it's not right next door or anything, so you're not going to pick up any noise from a hotel. So we're approaching the intersection right now. If you look over to the right, you'll notice that's where you take a right to go back into the L section and to get to L4. So instead of taking that right, we're going to bear left. This intersection is called 5 Points. That's the entrance to the L section. That's the road we're going to take. If you were going to go to Pilata, that is the road that you take to go back towards Pilata. Instead, we're going to go up this hill, up into a really nice pocket up here. This should be the middle video, and I'm actually going to take the long way in. Hopefully there's a counter on your video and you can see approximate drive time. We're actually a little bit closer to the beach than L4, but the good news is you can actually hear the surf break and see the ocean from this lot. The pricing of the homes in the general area up here is higher and more quality than your basic L section. You're not going to have very many low-end neighbors. Actually, you probably won't have any because generally the pricing is much higher and the lots themselves generally afford views. So what you get when that happens is, well, obviously a higher price, but you also get a little bit higher tiered neighbor in most cases. If you were to take a right over into there, that would take you into Nosara Falls. That's going to be a development at some point in time. The pricing was just a little out of line for us to represent it right now. Over to the left, you'll start seeing how the ocean views are. That's an example of a tower people put up to try to sell the property on steep hill lots. So we're basically heading up a ridge line that backs all against the Lagarto Reserve. Just for your knowledge, if someone wanted to take that left there, they could go down to the river mouth and go kayaking, canoeing, fishing, horseback riding, and that sort of stuff. That road that I just pointed out would have taken you over there. So That will have some appeal to some people, especially if you have some renters or people who might not surf, who want to go out and cruise around in the canoes, kayaks, and that sort of stuff. All right, remember that sign? The shortcut to the property is actually taking a right there. In this example, I'm taking a little bit longer entryway to show you more of the neighborhood. It still is shorter to the beach than L4, but you will see a couple really nice houses that we're cruising by right now. That one is actually cut down into the hill, which is kind of interesting. They actually park above their roof. So we're pretty much hitting the neighborhood right now. You have very nice houses and very nice projects over to the left. Some up to the right. There's a little buffer right there. There's some green zones to keep privacy. But you're not too remote. You could still go out and scream or yell or honk a horn and somebody could hear you. You don't want to be too alone out here. There's a nice lot that we have, and your lot is right above that. This is the Lagarta Lodge right there. That is definitely a place where you're going to want to check out. If need be, I'll go shoot a video of it for you. Incredible ocean surf break view. It's probably the second best view spot I've seen in Costa Rica. It's absolutely beautiful. Really good food too, actually. So this is the street. And I'm panning over to the left, back in the distance, that's where all the mountain and valley views kick in. So we'll drive down the road right now. So you can see one of your neighbors right there. Beautiful, beautiful place. Water is right there. We've got one of the water holding tanks. Water and power are already here. And the building pad itself, well, I guess you saw it in the earlier video, is excellent. Very large building pad. It's not a huge lot, but the building pad itself is almost completely usable. A nice little place over there. Beautiful landscaping. And we're approaching the lot, which will be on our left here in just a couple moments. And there we go.